Yo, welcome everybody back to the JV Sports Room. As usual, your host, JDino. The other half of the team behind the scenes, my man Vince.
Yeah.
24th episode. So you know what that means. Obviously, it's the Mamba episode. All right. Legends are forever. All right. Check us out. The 824 section at sportjv.com. Over in the Kobe corner, holding it down.
It's your boy Money. What's good?
The first starter,
Back
J
at it.
Money.
Back at it.
See,
welcome back, bro.
Yeah,
And then the starting center spot, big body boy himself,
Yes, sir.
Big J.
Yes, sir.
And
Live, baby.
we live, man. And we got a big lineup today because over in my wing, from one of the original episodes, representing JM3 Productions, my man Joey. Welcome back to the show. Been a while, man. Taking out the trash episode, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah.
Taking out the trash jag. But we back, baby. We back. 24th episode, like I said, man. So obviously we're gonna call this one the Mamba episode. We're gonna start this off, with a free tip-off shirt giveaway, obviously, because we're going to tip it off in the NBA. We're actually going to stay in the NBA this time. We're going to wrap up the entire playoffs so far, first round, and maybe peek into these second-round matchups a little bit. Started off, tip-off shirt giveaway. You know what I'm saying? My man Joey got a tip-off shirt, too. You know what I mean? So get your comment in the... And like, subscribe, and comment for me. Comment Kobe or Mamba, and you get thrown into the raffle. And at the end of the show, we're going to draw your name and see who wins this free tip-off shirt.
Get in there. Get in them comments.
Yes, sir. Get in them comments. Like and subscribe, please. All right. But, you know what I'm saying? We started off. We're going to tip it off with the Memphis Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? Number 24 episode, right? A nice little 24-3 run the Memphis Grizzlies went on to start the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Was that a Memphis dominated game, or was it a Timberwolves collapse, gentlemen?
I say collapse. That's what I'm going with. I mean, you can't be in this stage right now and just give up such a lead like that in the fourth. It was a 37-12 fourth quarter. Come on, man.
Yeah. Let's start at the top, man. Let's go. We in game 3. This is the NBA playoffs, So let's lay the landscape, paint the picture. Memphis on the road, going to Minnesota now. You won one at home. Now we on the road in Minnesota. I wanted to shed some light on, it's the playoffs, man. It's a grind. The regular season is a grind in itself, but the playoffs is about runs. It's about withstanding the run and then countering the run.
Facts.
So when I wanted to shed some light on Taylor Jenkins, the head coach for the Memphis Grizzlies, I wanted to shed some light on him to be able to make the decision to change the lineup, right? To take Steven Adams out of the lineup, to get Kyle Anderson in the starting lineup.
Small lineup.
Gives him
small ball.
Right. It gives him more versatility to guard. We all know Cat is not a typical back to the basket big. He's going to play towards the perimeter. So getting Jaren Jackson a little bit more athletic to stick him around, around the paint.
Yep.
I just want to shed some light on the coaching decisions to change the lineup, and also even in the second half, we talked about the second half run, taking Kyle Anderson out and running with that hot Brandon Clark. That was a big adjustment for these Grizzlies.
True indeed. Hey, before we jump too far into these Memphis Grizzlies, let me holler at my boy Joey over here real quick. I know you were a big Memphis fan earlier in the season. All right.
Ja Morant. I mentioned Ja Morant as one of the best point guards.
Yeah, exactly. So talk to us. How you think these playoffs are looking so far? You know what I'm saying? Is it exactly what you expected?
As far as the Western Conference, yeah, because I picked Phoenix and I picked the Warriors. I said they were playing a really good brand of basketball, good team basketball, good team defensive basketball as well. The East has been more sporadic, but I still see Miami is really strong. You got a really strong defensive, grinded out team. So that'll be Miami, that'll be Milwaukee. Those are the two best teams. And then you'll still say the Celtics on that second level with their
like what they're
stingy
doing,
defense.
actually.
They put clamps on Durant in the second half. He couldn't get away from the defender. He got his jump shot blocked. It was crazy. So it'll be out of those three teams. I still say Brooklyn is really good. We'll see what they do at home.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, game 3, you down 0-2.
Pressure's on.
Yeah, pressure on. We gotta see what happens then. So that's just more up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
But those are the teams that I see that can win it.
Yeah, yeah. And you mentioned hot run, so I know you gotta run yourself, man. But before you slide, who you got in your championship, Joey?
I'm gonna go with Golden State versus Milwaukee.
Any idea who's winning it all yet?
Golden State, them boys look. They look stacked. They look ready. They playing good. You can't stop them, and that's what Golden State been about for the past 8 years.
Exactly.
There's nothing changed.
Exactly.
We still gotta see who you gotta knock them out first.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you popping in on the show. JM3 Productions. If you guys aren't aware, appreciate music, appreciate the love, man. Appreciate you stopping in.
All right, fam.
All right, gentlemen. Well, we back in the saddle. Obviously,
Let's get back in this Memphis game.
Yeah, we got Joey's picks, okay, but he had to slide. But yeah, let's jump back in this Memphis game. That game was great. You ask me, man. I mean, Memphis had me a little worried. I'm not gonna lie, because I had a little, you know what I'm saying, parlay on them.
Yeah.
But, so they had me a little worried early. But I saw them clawing back, man. I saw the claw back. And I mean, what you guys think, man? This Minnesota, this was a real gut punch for them, wasn't it?
Nah, it's big, huge. I mean, you pull one off in Memphis and you have a nice little lead, looking like you're taking control of this game, and just to lose that at home, this could have been huge to go up 2-1 for Minnesota.
Huge.
Because with a team like Memphis, to drop the ball in a game like this, it's not going to be easy to get back from that.
This is by far a series changer. You know, I mentioned earlier about the regular season is a monster in itself, but once we get to the playoffs, it's about runs. And when you start off the way the Timberwolves started off on the run that they were on after, like I mentioned, the coaching, the lineup to change that the Memphis Grizzlies did. It was looking a little spooky for the first half because we were wondering, you know, you take Steven Adams out, like Pat Beverly was having his way in the paint.
I thought Cat was gonna have a bigger game at that point in time. Like I was fooled.
Yeah,
I got the opposite. I really did.
It was literally a tale. I would say a tale of two halves, but it was really the first and the third. It was Minnesota's. You know, Minnesota was on the run, the first and the third. You know, Memphis started creeping back. You know, it's so weird how, you know, we're looking at these playoff teams and they're led by players like in their early 20s, man. And it's such a good place to be in the league.
Yeah.
But Ja Morant never wavered. You know, you look in his eyes. He didn't play the greatest game.
I agree,
but he never wavered. You know, Brandon Clark stepping up huge minutes off the bench.
And your boy Desmond
Bane. Desmond Bane.
Man, that guy was hot.
Desmond Bane.
Oh my goodness.
Shoot. You know, a big knock. And I think Nelly on one of Nelly's episodes that he was on, he mentioned like him falling in the draft, and you know, being a multi-year college athlete. You know, normally upperclassmen. You know, we've seen a lot of them. So Desmond Bane falls in the draft, and a lot had to do because of his wingspan.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's from our NBA 2K players out there. We all know the shorter the wingspan, the quicker the jump shot releases, the higher your 3-point shot is. So
this is true.
Desmond Bane was out there hitting them threes, man. Kept them in the game, along with, like I said, mentioned Brandon Clark.
And Dylan Brooks came on late. He actually started off slow, and came on late. So just like Ja Morant, you know, Ja Morant was having a rough go, but you know, he had a rough go as far as field goal percentage, but he had a triple double. He was doing everything else. You know what I'm saying? He was facilitating. He was, you know, in there on the boards. Obviously playing defense and, you know, leading the fast break usually. But my biggest thing about this for Minnesota is that I feel like they're a team too much of runs to the point that you don't get consistent basketball out of them.
Yep.
And that's a fear for me because there's no way you can possibly win a championship that way or even move on to the next round because they had 30 plus points in the first and the third quarter.
Yep.
And then I believe 15 in the second and 12 in the fourth. That's awful. They were literally playing every other quarter. You know, and that's horrible, man. You can't do that. You can't do that. That's not championship basketball. It's not playoff basketball. And unfortunately for that kind of demonstration, they'll probably be bounced in the next couple games.
Like I mentioned earlier, man, this is a series changer right here. This is getting the taste smacked out of your mouth. You at home and you up huge and momentum was rocking. Right. Pat Beverly is just doing this. Don't dunk on nobody, but he's He's tapping his head. Anyway, the momentum was high. And to literally get smacked, you know, the scoreboard said they lost by, 9? But it was a lot more than that. They hit some couple last minute buckets. But all credit to my pick, my Western Conference pick. And I was feeling bad. I don't feel a little bit better.
I picked Minnesota, upset them. I took one upset little series, and it was this one. And I was feeling good with game one, but after this one, boy, I tell you,
it's rough.
I mean, so great about this upset.
You mentioned Minnesota and the runs. We got to also remember both teams are very young. Mm-hmm. I think Memphis is actually younger. It's a young team. We can look at a veteran team. Let's say, I know we're going to touch on Brooklyn. We're going to look at a veteran team and say, you know what, they'll get it together.
Right.
But can a young team, after getting the taste smacked out of their mouth, can they find a way to get the momentum back in their right hand? I don't think they can.
I don't think they can.
That's going to be tough. I don't see them. I can see Memphis really wrapping this up, possibly 5.
Yeah, I don't think they can, man. That fourth quarter, that said everything. I mean, that fourth quarter, they beat them down like Mike Tyson on the plane. So, they're not going to bounce back from that. They're not. I think it's over, especially with them. They got one more game in Minnesota, and if they can't by chance pull that one off, this game's over.
From a morale perspective, they're shot right now. It's hard. It's hard to come back from it.
Yeah. Too much yelling and screaming from Karl Anthony Towns, and you're only putting up 8 points, 5 rebounds. I mean, you got to come. You got to come to play. This is the playoffs. Every game counts. In the regular season, you could throw a game or two. Like I said, it's a grind, back-to-backs, travel. We don't have to worry about that in the playoffs.
Facts.
You're going to get the rest. You got to come to play every single night. 8 points, unacceptable from a so-called leader of this basketball organization.
Now, one thing I will say, though, is even though it's not happening the exact way we said it, we both said Cat was going to struggle this round, didn't we?
Yep.
We thought it was going to be Steven Adams and Jaren Jackson, but I guess Jaren Jackson is just doing by himself. But man, this round, this playoff game series doesn't seem as close as some may think, or even the scoreboard say.
Yeah.
Just like the Golden State series, the scoreboard say it's close.
Man.
I don't think it is.
It's by far this one's been wraps.
Yeah. I mean, are they sweeping over there?
Yeah, the broom is coming out.
Get the brooms out. Get the brooms out.
What brooms?
Now we're on the Golden State. I want to definitely bring up the biggest takeaway for me personally is Steph Curry coming off the bench.
Yo, this is crazy to me.
And he's off the bench.
He's loving his role. He
comes off as a player that is going to do what it takes.
Yeah.
What the team wants him.
Agreed. Obviously, he's not loving the role, for sure.
Right.
But it's interesting. Who'd have thought?
Your superstar player is coming off the bench. I mean, but even he said it himself, like, these guys are rolling right now. I mean, it's a pool party.
Yo, so
it's a pool party in Golden State,
that's
man.
a good way to put it. I like that. So I posed this question, and it's kind of cool, man. Could Steph Curry be the first ever MVP off the bench?
Nah, he won't be off the bench. He won't be coming off the bench for too much longer. This series, let him come off the bench. Let him remember, he's coming off an injury. Let him get recouped, back into the lineup, back into the swing of things. Hey, we always, we play ball. You got to feed the hot hand. Jordan Poole's hot. Hey, keep them rolling.
They're all hot.
Yeah.
They're all hot, man. Yeah. As a matter of fact, between the three of them, Steph, Thompson, and Poole, they've had 12 and 13 threes combined, respectively, the last 2 games. That's crazy. And they're doing it at an efficient rate, too.
Yeah.
They're doing it right below 50% between the three of them. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
This is spooky.
Splash triplets.
It's spooky out here, man. It's spooky out here when you got one of the greatest shooters probably ever. I'll say it, the greatest shooter ever coming off the bench in the playoffs. It's wild.
You got Poole dropping 30, then 29, 27. Why not?
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
I mean, now imagine they figure out a way to incorporate the lineup and get them all in there.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, that's how they close out the games. You know, but it's interesting, man. And so they got PTSD, right?
Yep.
Plus Wiggins, because Wiggins is playing great ball too.
Wiggins playing great, man.
So I mean,
Doing a little bit of dirty work.
Yeah.
A little bit of, guarding, defending, things that don't hit the stat line.
exactly.
This is a great series for them. They needed this series to get this is a team that was injured all year. They never really got the chemistry. So this is a good get the chemistry back going, get the blood flowing, and then get ready for the next round.
Brooms, J Money.
yeah, I'm calling the Brooms right now, man. They coming out.
Traps.
They coming out like Apollo at the theater.
All right, so
The Clan.
so we placing a bet tomorrow on Golden State
Yeah, I think that's
money
an easy
line. I
bet.
mean, it's got to be
That's an
3.
easy bet.
Yeah, I'm taking that bet all day.
That's
So, what else we got in the West? How about this Utah and Jazz? Utah Jazz and Mavericks series.
Yeah.
Mavs up 2-1 with no Luka.
Your boy.
Hold on, let me just repeat it. The Mavs are up 2-1 with no Luka Doncic.
Yep. We just touched on Golden State hooping without their star player.
Yep.
The Mavs said, I see you and I raise you.
Jalen Brunson, bro.
Johnson, man.
My man is averaging 32 points per game in this series.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man. And to think he was coming off the bench to start the beginning of the season.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we've always saw splashes. Every time Luka's been out with an injury, we always saw Jalen Brunson, especially playing fantasy basketball like we have. He was always a hot pickup.
He was always on my pickup.
And, man, I tell you what, he's showing, coming into next season, free agency, he's earning his money right now.
Yeah.
He's going to earn a big, hefty paycheck from what he's doing right now in these playoffs, for sure. Big buckets, big numbers this past game.
I mean, Dinwiddie's been holding it down too as well.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, I know that's your boy coming over from Washington.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Been holding it down.
Big addition. At first we were kind of laughing at it, the Porzingis trade and getting Spencer Dinwiddie, being in that Washington situation. But hey, I mean, he's in a better situation, and now he's coming to hoop. He's coming to hoop.
Yeah,
for sure. Big 20 points from Dinwiddie. Brunson with 31.
I like what Maxi Kleber's been doing too.
For
Like
sure.
coming off the bench for them.
Sure.
He's known for stretching the floor as a big man, but I think what's underrated about him is his defense. I think he plays like very underrated defense. Every time I look at the stat line, my man's got 3, 4, 5 blocks, So, he's all over the place. And he's undersized too, because he's only about 6'10", doing it, from really a stretch 4 position, guarding a lot of these centers. So, shout out to Maxi Kleber making a difference on that team, man.
From a Jazz perspective, I mean, I had this series totally
way different, right?
I had the Jazz, man. I got to eat my words, man. I had the Jazz. I really thought with the defense that Rudy Gobert gives you down the paint, and a superstar all-star level player and Donovan Mitchell, veteran team with healthy veteran team. Apparently, like I said, it's the playoffs. Anything can happen. This could be it, man. This could be the end of the road.
But, I still look at the rosters, right? And I still look at these Utah Jazz, and first of all, I'm a little confused as to why this is still happening. But I still feel in the back of my mind that they could pull off the next 3 straight. Like, obviously, with an undermanned Dallas Mavericks, this still could be over in 6. So I don't think this series is quite over just yet, man. But I don't like the start for Utah. It gives me bad vibes, especially going into the next round against a team possibly like a Phoenix or something like that. They could really get punched in the mouth and lose 4 straight.
You need more offense out of Rudy Gobert. I mean, he had 5 the first game, 8 the second game. His best game was his past series with 15 points. Yeah, okay.
You know, what's he averaging? 9 points a game, something like that.
So
like,
I mean,
awful.
you need more offense from him. I mean, that is probably what I see is hurting him against this Dallas matchup.
I couldn't agree more.
For sure. 100%.
I mean, obviously Donovan Mitchell's doing what he does, you know, but I agree. You know, obviously he's not known for his defense. I mean, neither was Ben Wallace, you know, but he's 7'2". He's 7'2" still, you know, he's not Ben Wallace. Ben Wallace was 6'7". He's not going to go in there and dominate any centers. Gobert is 7'2". He should still be able to get a bucket against some of these 6'10" undersized centers and power forwards. Like, it's actually a little disappointing. I mean, I'm not even a Gobert fan, but he should be doing better than that for sure.
I agree 100%.
I mean, you guys hit it right there. They got to get something. They got to get something else. They need more from Rudy. You know, we could be looking at he's an all-star. We could be looking at a Steven Adams situation. Maybe they got to do some adjustments, change the lineup, or do something because they should be winning this series. Now, you know, Dallas could potentially get Luka back. At this point, I think you hold him. You hold him off and continue to ride Jalen. It's nice to see Mike Conley still relevant, hooping.
I think the second game he had 0 points.
Yeah.
It's bad, man. You know, you see the decline sometimes in some of these players, man. And I think that's what we're seeing in Mike Conley right now. We're getting almost close to nothing out of him. Yeah,
got 21 last night. But I mean, like you said, this series is still, I still want to keep my eye on this series. I wouldn't call it just yet. Still maybe a little too early to call it. We'll see. We'll see if if Dallas can keep it up. But let's see. Maybe Jazz can sneak one out here.
I'm thinking they probably come back and win this second game. If I had to guess, I mean, sometimes I'm a betting man. If I had to bet on it, I think I'm going with Jazz in this next game. Right, Money?
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, I still think they pull off the series, but I think you hit it when you said like going to the next round against a team like Phoenix. That ain't gonna hold up.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Exactly. They better hope Devin Booker's still out. But speaking of Phoenix and these New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah. They pull one out in Phoenix. Series tied 1-1 going into tonight's game.
Could be spooky out there.
I mean,
I took Phoenix in 5. I took Phoenix in 5 in this one, so I'm not surprised to see New Orleans get one. I mean, right after the trade and bringing homeboy's name, what's his name? From McCollum, yeah.
CJ McCollum.
So, you know, they went into Phoenix and let, you know, kind of beat them down a little bit.
They had a big game.
Yeah, but having Devin Booker with his little injury there is kind of scary, but I think Phoenix all around as a team is just gonna be able to pull it out. I mean, I'm not too worried.
Still got them in 5.
Yeah.
Still think they can win the next 3 straight?
I think they can.
Even with the Devin Booker news, him being out 2 to 4 weeks.
I think they can. I think collectively they come together, they can. I think they're just a better overall team, better coaching team, and they can make it happen.
Talk to me, Big J.
I know you don't.
No. I mean, this is the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. You still have Chris Paul still doing what he can do. They still have, you know, Defensive Player of the Year runner-up and Mikal Bridges. This is a team that can rally, you know, for sure. They're a veteran team led by future Hall of Famer Chris Paul. This is a team that could rally together. You know, you lose your superstar player. But New Orleans, when they're hot, they're hot. It's gonna take them coming together, the Suns coming together and saying, you know what? And then, you know, they've been in this position before. You know, Devin Booker did miss time this season. So I want to say I agree. It might be a little harder. Maybe not Suns in 5. Maybe not Suns. You know, definitely not Suns in 4. But 6, maybe 7. They got a scratching claw, but I still think the Suns will end up pulling the series.
I like it. I'm torn right in the middle. I'm not as confident as Money is, because obviously that Devin Booker injury is scary. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we've made mention of him being possible MVP. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people who have talked about him in that conversation. But I still feel confident in Phoenix Suns. Like you said, he's missed time. and they've won without him. Yep. I think what happened here is New Orleans took advantage of probably a little bit of discombobulation, without Devin for a couple quarters and took advantage.
Right.
I think Phoenix regroups. I definitely think they regroup. I think if anything, New Orleans might pull off another close one back in New Orleans, maybe game 4. Mm-hmm. But I got Phoenix in 6, easy. They still may win 3 straight.
I continue to say this is. I mean, it's not the regular season; it's almost. So this is the playoffs. So, but the playoffs allow you to do, at least coaching staffs allow the coaching staffs to do is, okay, we're out Devin Booker. Mm-hmm. So now we're not playing a new team every day. We know who we're playing.
Absolutely.
We can game plan. We can do some roster reconstruction, get guys, figure out the new rotation, and let's focus on this one team. And we got a day off in between games. Veteran team. They were in the dance last year. I still like Phoenix. It's scratch and claw and pull this one out for sure.
And to add on to what you said, who better to do that than Monty Williams? You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yep, Coach of the Year, right? I mean, Coach of the Year for a reason. Show us.
Yeah, no.
Now you lose the general. You lose Chris Paul. Now I'm really worried.
Now it's supposed to see.
Yeah, man. They lose Chris Paul, man. The Vegas is going crazy.
Show some love to Brandon Ingram. Get let Mikal get on him. Try to slow him down. Don't let CJ beat you. And we'll see. DeAndre Ayton got to step up now. Somebody's got to step up.
That's it.
You lose Devin Booker. Somebody has to step up. Who's it going to be?
So I like both key factors you mentioned just now. Mm-hmm. DeAndre Ayton, first of all, you're right, 100%. Got to step up. I mean, I'm fully expecting at least 20 to 25 and 12 to 15 rebounds out of him next game. Anything less, and I'll probably be a little disappointed. Right. And then you mentioned it too, Mikal Bridges, runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year. I definitely think he is going to make it hard on Brandon Ingram for the next couple games.
No, for sure. Cameron Johnson, I just want to throw his name out. He's had splashes in the playoffs last year. Cameron Johnson has had shown flashes of being able to step up and hit big buckets when he needed. But to the Pelicans side, I mentioned Brandon Ingram. Man. Lakers, man.
Trust me, Albert.
Lakers, man.
We already touched that so much times throughout these episodes on what we could have built. So, but it's what we do. We make other teams great.
Hey, that's what it is. Orlando does the same thing, but Brandon Ingram, big buckets, 37 points his last game. Mm-hmm. Can he keep it up? We'll see. I think he can, but will it be enough? CJ McCollum, big trade. We touched on it previous shows ago. What a huge trade. They see this team doing what they're doing now. I mean, if they had that one kid out of Duke, that first round pick out of Duke, Zion Williams,
it might be a little bit of a different story.
Man,
right?
It could have been a lot of a different story. They might have won this series, but we'll see.
True indeed.
We'll see, man. But
yeah, man. But I, as much as I like CJ and I love the leadership that he's bringing to this team, I think he'll probably be the one that tries to carry them within these next couple games. I think I made mention earlier. I think Mikal Bridges really clamps up these next couple games. I don't think Brandon Ingram has another game over 30 points the rest of this series. I think it's going to be a defensive battle.
I'm going to say, a message to Dame. This is what happens when you leave Portland. You get to be in better places. Experience other things.
Yeah.
I'm saying that with a Laker hat on, right? no subliminal messages here at all, huh?
I definitely also want to show some love and get some being a Hispanic that I am. The Grand Theft Alvarado.
Jose
doing it. Yeah. You got it. He's always there. He's ready to get that ball loose, man. Pickpocket on Hall of Fame. It's fun to see, man. It's fun to see.
Love it, man. Love it. Hey, man, but West Coast, first round, still up in the air. I mean, who we like going into this second round for sure, outside of probably Golden State. I mean, I
still like Memphis.
Memphis is moving on.
Definitely Memphis moving on.
Yeah, I know I had picked Minnesota to kind of upset Memphis, but at this point, I think Memphis is a team that's clearly going to move on in that matchup.
Right.
And Obviously, we said Golden State. I still like Phoenix. Phoenix for sure. One off for sure.
What I also like about this for Memphis, I mean, I know we passed Memphis, but I do want to say this game, this game 3 that we just saw, they needed that. They needed to get checked. Sometimes you need to get your chin checked in order for you to realize, okay, I need to watch out for that right hook. You know what I mean? So this is going to help them. Once they get through this series with Minnesota, it's going to help them later on in the playoffs. They're going to think back. Hey, guys, remember we were down, 25-26?
Yeah.
When they're looking maybe at Golden State in the Western Conference Finals, whatever, they're going to look back and say, yo, we were down, we were here before, and we did it.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be one of those situations. You get chin checked. Now you know, hey, now I know I need to block it. So
shout out to Memphis. So
sure.
as a cast, we definitely got Phoenix, Golden State, Memphis. And I know we in agreement on Utah, but
it's still TBD, man. To be determined. But right now, it's got to be Dallas, man. It's got to be Dallas.
Okay, split decision on Utah and Dallas.
Yeah.
But sliding over to the East Coast.
Yeah. Now it gets tricky, man.
I think
tricky.
we all had Brooklyn beating Boston, right?
Everybody, yeah.
It's not looking so good, gentlemen.
Yeah. Rudy, man. Rudy sitting high right now.
Mm-hmm. Rudy said hi right now. That was Rudy that just texted me right now.
Rudy sitting high, high and mighty. He called it. He said Boston was 6 or 7? It could be 5. It could be 4.
Yeah, that's right. But I think Brooklyn, they pulled together. I don't see them getting swept, though. I'll tell you that. But that first game, man, what a tough loss.
That was a tough loss, man. Really was, man. I feel like they lost just a little bit of confidence in that game. You know what I'm saying? They were riding high, man, going into that game. You know, they were the underdogs, but for some reason it seemed like they were the bullies, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think they got checked in that one a little bit, and then this one, that was that right hook right there.
Yeah.
They're reeling right now, man. They got to pull it together.
I don't know who Steve Nash or anybody needs to do that. I don't know if they got to knock on Golden State's door or knock on OKC's door. And they need to get their money back from this KD guy. They got to get their money back to this KD because he was supposed to be the best player in the planet, and he might be the 4th best player on the court in this series. I mean, you're talking Jason Tatum is out, Kevin Durant. Jaylen Brown.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, yes. We talked about it before the series started. Like that matchup, the KD, Jason Tatum matchup. Mm-hmm. You know, Jaylen Brown is consistently putting up numbers. Kyrie is trying his best to hold Brooklyn together. KD might be the 4th best player on the court.
Woo.
And before the series, we were saying he was the best player on the court.
In the playoffs, man.
KD needed to step his game up, man.
It's actually kind of funny. Joey mentioned something a little earlier, man, that, he and I, have gone back a long time, man. And we've said a million times it's impossible to block KD's jump shot. Mm-hmm. And Jason Tatum proved that wrong. He blocked him on a jump shot.
Yeah.
I was thoroughly impressed.
I mean,
late in the game, he blocks KD's jump shot.
See, KD's used to being 6'11", tallest player on the court that can handle the ball, but now he's looking across from him, an almost identical figure in Jason Tatum, who's 6'9", almost 6'10" himself, and is as athletic
and more
bigger.
Yeah,
it's Freaky Friday out there for sure. Freaky Friday. Kevin Durant, you got to be the best player on the planet. You got to step up.
You cannot go 0 for 10 in the fourth. In the second half. Kevin Durant.
No.
You got to give me more than that.
No. Maybe he needs a Butterfingers endorsement because he's slippery with the ball. He can't handle the ball, turning the ball over. I mean, if you're gonna go 0 for 10, you can't turn the ball over too. You can't have 2 negatives.
The small game is critical for them. They need to pull off that win in Brooklyn. They need to.
Huge.
They have to. I mean, granted, you called it, right? They have to win in Brooklyn. I mean, at this point in time, all Boston really did was hold home court, right?
They're supposed to do.
Technically, they did what they're supposed to do. So Brooklyn's got to bounce back. They've got to win the 2 at home to even make this a series.
The playoffs is about runs. Mm-hmm. Boston had their run. They did what they're supposed to do. You mentioned it. Home court, secured home court. Boston's got to count. They got to counter. I mean, Brooklyn has to counter. You have to do what you have to do. You have to hold down your home court. And then we got a series.
Agreed.
So the series ain't, the series that doesn't start until tomorrow.
And Brooklyn wins. It's definitely has the making of a 7-game series, though. They pull this out, it's going to be a 7-game series. I don't see them just going on some crazy run and winning 4 straight here. So
I agree. I mean, I think Big J said it. They probably have to win both. I don't know if they could have to win the series or even stretch it to 7 if they lose that second one at home. They got some pressure on them now.
One game at a time.
Pressure.
You gotta win. You gotta win at the first game at home. Yeah. You have to.
I mean, but that's exactly what the Boston Celtics bring, right? Is pressure, right? Yeah. I mean, they put the pressure on Brooklyn because they put so much pressure on Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But what does pressure make? Pressure makes diamonds sometimes.
Or bust pipes.
Hey, Kevin Durant, we're looking at you, brother.
Facts. You making a diamond or you busting a pipe, bro?
But, while we talk about Boston, let's, give a shout out to Marcus Smart for winning Defensive Player of the Year.
There you go.
Absolutely.
I mean,
absolutely.
Congrats. You know what I mean?
And doing nothing but proving himself right in this series.
Yep.
Proving any doubters wrong.
Great point.
You know what I'm saying? He is taking on what is one of the absolute most skilled players. Tracy McGrady said that the Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving duo is the greatest, the skilled duo ever. So he's taking on one of the most skilled players at his position.
Yeah.
And doing his best. I mean, you're not going to clamp Kyrie, right?
No.
But he is giving him fits.
Giving him the business. As a wise man once said, you're going to get this work. You're going to get this work. We mentioned it. We mentioned it before the series again. Marcus Smart bringing that physicality to Kyrie. Staying on him. Making him work.
He's in his pocket, in his chest.
Absolutely.
Every way he turns, you got a Marcus Smart there.
But Kyrie has done a great job of being the Houdini that he is, the magician, and being able to make, greatness.
I mean, to all the gambling people 2 months ago, if you put money on Marcus Smart winning, and he was a 10,000 to 1 odd. Ooh, yeah.
Why didn't we put money? J Money. Why I call you J Money? J Money.
I didn't know it was out there.
We're gonna have to get the next one.
For the future, so I didn't see that.
We're gonna have to get the next one. Starting with my pick. I got Brooklyn winning in Brooklyn.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Excuse me. Tomorrow. My pick tomorrow. I got Brooklyn winning in Brooklyn.
I agree.
I mean, Celtics got to be the favorites at this point in time, being up 2-0, right? But going back to Brooklyn, you probably expect the odds to be about even. I'm taking Brooklyn.
They're actually Brooklyn's favorite 3.5 right now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm still taking Brooklyn.
I agree. You can't go down 3 games against Boston. You're done. Yeah.
Agreed. And I think it's gonna go off of what Greg said a couple shows ago. Over under 110. So, I mean, what's the over on that game there?
223.
223. I think I like the over on that because if Brooklyn wins, they're going to play. It's because they're playing their style of ball. So, give me Brooklyn. Give me the over.
I agree.
Yeah. Really getting back to the series, are we having this discussion? I know I'm putting Kevin Durant on the microscope. Are we having this discussion if Jason Tatum doesn't crash to the lane with however many seconds there was left and make that layup and getting that game winner? If Brooklyn was able to take game 2, are we having this discussion? That's the question we got to ask ourselves. Sure. And what Brooklyn can possibly, they always say try to get the good out of a bad situation. Maybe that is like, hey, we didn't play our greatest, but we only lost by 1 point and it was in a last second miracle shot. Maybe they could take that energy, flip it around and start with game 3 and get that W and turn it into another one in game 4, for sure.
And speaking of game 4, there's chirps. The chirps are coming again.
Oh, there you go.
Ben Simmons might be back for game 4.
We'll see.
Good or bad for Boston? I mean, for Brooklyn. Good or bad for Boston?
I mean, at this point, it can't be worse. Or can it?
We got to see where the chemistry's at with that. Right. That's the factor I think about.
Right. So, obviously, they have to slow play him in. But then there's also other chirps, from other birdies from over there and over there. that Robert Williams' rehab is coming along a lot quicker than expected and could be back for a game 6 or 7. What's up with Robert Williams being a big factor?
Yeah, I see you, Ben Simmons. I'll raise you a Robert Williams. It is. I think it's safe to say this series is far from over. Yeah. If all these chirps and birdies are flying around, you said it. We'll see what the chemistry looks like. We know what the chemistry is with Robert Williams. That's definitely going to be an upgrade. Definitely going to be an upgrade for sure. But on the Brooklyn side, we'll see. How much does he play? Is it 10 minutes, 15, or do they give him the full run? They need the defense that he brings. Man, the series is far from over, for sure.
Well, he be at Jameer Nelson when he came back.
That's true. That's true.
I'd say bench him. That's true. He didn't want to play all year for real anyway. Jeez.
Now you want to come here when we in the playoffs?
Right? Exactly.
Yeah, no, I do, but I also want to give some love to the OG, man, Al Horford. Playing big minutes too, man.
Oh,
big buckets.
Man.
Al Horford still doing it.
You called it. You called it, man. Yeah, every time I look, he's knocking down a 3 or making a play.
Yes.
And as much as I hate to do it again, but this guy that sat right here and defended the Boston Celtics said,
Rudy,
that even without Robert Williams, we got Al Horford.
That's a fact.
Al Horford's playing 25-year-old Al Horford ball again, man.
Al Horford is out Kevin Durant and Kevin Durant.
As a matter of fact, I actually saw a stat that Al Horford has more field goals in this series than Kevin Durant.
My goodness.
That's
my goodness.
Wow. Shouts to Al Horford. Thanks for bringing him up. We did not forget. Well, thank God he didn't forget about you because, he's making a difference on this series, man.
For sure. No, huge.
But real quick, before we leave, the Boston-Brooklyn series, I made mention of Tracy McGrady and him mentioning that they're the most skilled duo ever. I mean, it's a dope little topic. I mean, couple names you want to throw out there. Obviously, sitting over in that Kobe corner, you gotta, think that Kobe and the Big Diesel had to be one of them, right?
Hey, come on now. We saw how dominant it was back then with them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's no question. Kobe and Diesel, what they did on the court was just, unwritten. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
I had to think about another one. I'll let you speak on it, but I want to think of a different duo outside of the Lakers. I'll drop one.
I got another one. It still involves the Diesel, but that Shaq and D Wade wasn't too bad either.
It wasn't too bad either.
That wasn't a bad duo.
Now, anytime we mention the Shaq, though, I think he's straight dominance. So I think Tracy McGrady, what he was referring to was skill. Any two, and the only other person he mentioned was Jordan and Pippen. Any other two skilled duo better than Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving come to mind right off the top of your dome?
I mean, prime Splash Brothers. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. It's hard to find a better two than that. I mean, you got to also think maybe LeBron and Dwayne Wade. LeBron and D Wade. Yeah, that's another one.
That's another one.
Yeah,
that's
maybe.
Another one. Yeah. Another underrated one
Kareem
with
and Magic. Kareem and Magic.
Go way back there.
Another underrated one. Maybe not skilled from one side, but the Steve Nash and Maury Stoudemire.
Yeah, that was fun.
That little combo was fun.
Nothing else, but that was fun.
That was a fun combo.
Yeah, for sure. But we mentioned the LeBron and Dwayne Wade talking about the Miami Heat. How we feel about this Miami Heat and Atlanta Hawks series right about now? I mean, looking real one-sided.
Looking the way I thought it was going to look. Too much Jimmy Butler.
He dropped 41 in the last game?
Yes, sir.
Jimmy Buckets.
Jimmy Buckets is back.
Playoff Jimmy?
Yeah. Playoff Jimmy is back. It's too much Jimmy and the defense. Miami's defense. Stingy veteran defense. They got all the off the court issues put to the side. They're all back on one accord. And Eric Spoelstra's got them playing great ball at the right time.
I agree, man. They are putting clamps on Trae Young. right?
Yep.
I mean,
Making it hard on them,
one
for sure.
for 12 the first game, 6 or 8 turnovers. Man, they're making it hard on him to say the least. They got John Collins back, but he hasn't been too much of a factor. He hasn't been enough of a factor. I do feel like they're missing Clint Capella in the middle. That's a big factor.
Yeah, big injury for him.
Because, with him in there, it allows John Collins to stretch out a little more. John Collins is, getting beat up inside right now. But yeah, man, Miami.
Do you see it as a sweep?
Brooms. Get him
I
out.
gave Atlanta 1.
Same.
It's a wrap.
I gave Atlanta 1.
Yeah. You would think they get 1.
It's a wrap.
I still want to give Atlanta 1. They're going back to ATL.
I'm leaning on your side. I still want to say 1.
The windshield wipers, they sweeping.
Sweep them. Get them out.
Got the rain next.
Get him out. I mean, all due respect, man. All due respect to Trae Young. I'm a big Ice Trae fan. They just don't have enough, man. They just don't have enough to combat a veteran team that has been to the dance before and is playing all cylinders right now.
They are.
Sweet.
They are.
I don't see anything that can change. I mean,
Play tonight.
Yeah, they played tonight. I don't see anything changing. I mean, maybe they get more buckets from Danilo Gallinari. Bogdanovich is playing well.
Their shooters are shooting. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Kevin Huerter's shooting. You know what I'm saying? Bogdanovich is shooting. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe they get a hot game.
Unless
Maybe they
Trae
get
got a 40 burger in his back pocket or 50 burger.
Yeah, he's very capable of it. He's very. Give me ATL to win 1 game. Miami in 5
I think it's tonight. Miami's favored by 1.5. Nearly a pick 'em. So I think Atlanta gets it tonight.
There you go.
Eating 4.
Eating 4. All right, man. So another team that is probably going to be wrapping it up in 4, even though so many people thought Toronto was going to actually give them a shot. No, I got Philly in 4, gentlemen.
It's a wrap.
What's going on in this Philly series, man? Philly and Toronto.
It's a wrap. It's Maxey season. It's Tyrese, Maxey. Like I said, it stepped up, and people in Philadelphia, I got my ears to the streets, and they saying, Ben Simmons who? That's what they sound. That's what I'm hearing. Ben Simmons who? Because it's Tyrese Maxey season. Game 1 pretty much won the game. Hands down, Tyrese Maxey. Game 2 did enough. And, I know Greg sat here and mentioned in the last 5 minutes when the game's on the line, who's going to have the rock in his hand is Joel Embiid. And he game winner.
He had it in his hands from 3 with the turnaround fadeaway, right?
Hit it.
Joel Embiid. Talk about skill, man.
Skill. And
Most skilled big man in the league. He's got to be, right? I mean, because he is the most dominant on the inside. And when you could hit a 3-pointer to win the game, I mean, man. And now he's coming in clutch, starting to hit big time. I love Joel Embiid right about now. He's earning that MVP. I definitely think he should win it, man.
There you go.
On the other side of the ball, though, Toronto. I mean, they're going back for another game in Toronto. I mean, any chance? I mean,
it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, they just don't. Yes, they're long. They're defensive. Pascal Siakam is doing what he can. Fred VanVleet is doing what he can. But at the end of the day, it's just not enough.
Are they missing Scotty Barnes too much?
It could be that Scotty Barnes injury. Could have been. He gives you a little bit of everything. He gives you a little playmaking, a little defense. It's not enough, guys. The series is over.
So let me pose this question, man. Why not? He was the only one amongst the finalists to have his team in the playoffs. His team is obviously missing him like crazy right now. I mean, they're about to get swept. Is Scotty Barnes our rookie of the year, gentlemen?
It's it's hard. It's really hard because we have such recency bias because you're seeing Scotty. Well, we're not seeing him now, but we're seeing him in the playoffs. His team's in the playoffs, but it's Cade Cunningham might end up winning it just off of
How he ended the season.
Just how he ended the season, being the number 1 overall pick, you know, that whole thing.
I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. If anything,
should be Franz.
Give it to one of the Magic boys, man.
Give the Franz, man. But
I mean, I think Evan Mobley as well.
You think you got to put his name up there?
Yeah.
You know what? That's actually my pick because his team missed him at the end of the season. You could tell. Yeah. Obviously, they were short Jared Allen, but you know when they still had Evan Mobley in there with Darius Garland, they were still competitive, even still winning games. Mm-hmm. And then without Evan or Jared, they lost to the Orlando Magic. Yeah, man, I think they missed him a lot. He showed up for them. He helped them almost make the playoffs. Yep. Put up big numbers all season.
I like that Mobley call. It's a good call.
I'm going Evan Mobley if I had to pick.
You know, we mentioned the MVP award. You know, you take this player off this team. You know, are they where they are? But you know, pretty much if you take Evan Mobley off of that Cavaliers team, I mean, we're not in the playoffs now, but they probably don't even sniff the playoffs.
Agreed.
Without him and his stellar play this season. It's probably still going to be Cade for me, but I do like that call.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, they probably are going to give it Scotty Barnes. I mean, at the end of the day, this cat, all 13 games in the regular season and 74 appearances, he did not score double-digit points. So he pretty much was scoring double-digit points for the majority of his whole rookie career. So, I mean, you got to give that to him.
Consistency. I love that.
Yeah. So I just think that at the end of the day, they're probably going to give it to him. But I do like the Evan Mobley call a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Hey.
I mean, back to the series on the Philly side. Again, similar to what I was saying Golden State. They need this series. James Harden's got to get the heebie-jeebies out of him. He's got to figure it out. Got to get back in the rotation, get back in the mix, because it's going to come down to a time where the team's going to be looking at James to step up. He hasn't had to yet, but I need James to start getting the juices flowing and start picking up the pace. But I still like.
Oh yeah, they're pulling out the brooms. They're gonna be sleeping, waiting on probably Miami in the next round.
Tomorrow at 2 p.m. So we'll see that sweep happening.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Brooms coming out at 2 p.m. tomorrow. But last but not least, I don't even know how we wait to the end, but maybe because we saved the best for last.
Maybe.
Call it what you like, but the Milwaukee Bucks actually are in a series now with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a series, folks.
They play tonight.
Yep.
They play tonight. Game 3. Milwaukee and Chicago. What do you guys think?
Big game. This is a big momentum game. This is a big momentum game. Right now, series 1-1. Milwaukee's looking at themselves with, Chris Middleton is out.
Mm-hmm. I think he's out two weeks or so.
Yeah, this is a big momentum game right here. For the Bulls, they need this one. I think they need this one. It may be too early, but just looking at it and been being a sports fan and a basketball fan for so long, you can kind of get a vibe. If Chicago is able to just get this one, I think they can rattle and rumble off of this. Big loss not having Chris Middleton, but DeMar DeRozan is putting up big buckets, man.
Yeah, big came up big.
Let's look at the X factor. Another one of our boys, Caruso, 2 blocks, 2 steals, additional 10 dimes. I mean, all that plays itself factor in why they pulled off that win.
I love them putting him in the starting lineup.
Yep.
I believe that has been the X factor.
Yep.
I love that move, man.
Yeah, you keep the pressure on Drew Holiday.
It's definitely a series to say the least. No Chris Middleton. You got to look for guys like Drew Holiday to step up. Drew Holiday has to step up this game.
Yep.
And you can almost expect to get a monster effort out of Giannis. He probably won't sit all game.
And Bobby's got to step up as well.
Bobby has to step up.
You need big buckets from Bobby.
My only thing is Chris Middleton obviously gets buckets, right? But he also, an underrated factor about him is that he plays solid defense. And he's big and he's long, pause. He's about 6'7", 6'8", playing the wing.
Yep.
So he gives guys like DeRozan a hard time.
Yep.
I think that's what they're going to miss most about not having Middleton.
Great call.
Is I think I think it's going to end up turning into more of a shootout because DeRozan and Zach LaVine's going to end up getting theirs, and Milwaukee's going to have to try to keep up at this point in time, to be honest with you.
No, well, where do you guys see this at?
Great question.
Yeah. No, I mentioned this is a big game. This is a telling game to see, are they able to make the adjustments similar to the Phoenix Suns? Like I said, is Milwaukee able to make the adjustments? And I think veteran team, defending champions, and Giannis on the other side of the court. I'm taking Milwaukee in this series still.
Who I like?
Yeah.
I still like Milwaukee.
Yeah.
I still like Milwaukee. I think they get a huge game out of Giannis this game.
Mm-hmm.
As a matter of fact, talking to a betting man, right? I'm pretty sure with Chicago being at home and no Chris Middleton, Chicago probably has to be the favorites this game. Right?
Actually, Milwaukee's favored by 2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I definitely like Milwaukee in this game.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Taking Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think Milwaukee still pulls it off. I mean, they are, defending champs. Giannis, I mean, come on. Without Chris Middleton, it does hurt a little bit, but I don't think it puts him out at all. Right.
I think the best thing that Milwaukee could do is, not the best thing they could do. I think what's going to happen is this series is probably going to get extended at this point in time.
Right.
And to be honest with you, that's not necessarily a bad thing for the Milwaukee Bucks, because then they'll get a healthy Chris Middleton, hopefully going into the second round.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's a gift and a curse, but I still think Milwaukee pulls this out. I got Milwaukee in 6.
6?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it took DeMar to 41 points and to win by 4. So unless DeMar I'm not discounting him at all. I mean, he definitely can do it, but it's going to drop another 41, or maybe, Zach LaVine steps up. It's going to be hard to replicate that. And especially in a series, again, like I say, where teams are able to game plan and that they have extra day to prep and say, okay, how can we, hold this guy and, pause. I still like Milwaukee. I like Milwaukee tonight. Giannis, big game. Bobby, big game. And Drew Holiday, big game.
I think it's the best game on the slate tonight, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you think about it, between the three.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
But it is a big game at home for Chicago. Could be a statement. Could be a series change of momentum right here. Big, it's a big game. Big game tonight.
For sure. Gentlemen, great NBA mid-first round matchup. Wrap up, excuse me.
Yeah.
Who we like in this Eastern Conference? We're still going Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going Philly. We're still going
Philly.
Where we going with Brooklyn and Boston?
Oh. Don't put the pressure on me, man. Don't put the pressure on me.
Pressure.
Pressure's
on KD. Pressure's not on you.
Pressure on KD, man. KD.
What's your pick?
I gotta stick with my guns, man. Brooklyn in 7. I gotta stick with my guns.
Yeah, I'm not fading. It's Brooklyn in 7 for me too.
We gonna look like fools, but when it's Boston in 4,
it's gonna look like fools because all 3 of us are still going Brooklyn in 7.
Rudy gonna kill us in the comments.
Rudy kill us in the comments.
Yeah. Ramadan's done on May 1st. Kyrie get to be more fueled up for the second series.
That's a good point.
There you go. There you go. Brooklyn is 7 still. Miami.
I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good.
And Philly.
Yeah. I don't feel good about it, but Brooklyn 7. KD, man, don't make us look like fools.
Yeah, man.
Come on. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. Going back to what you said about Al Horford. He had 6 shots from the field, and KD had 4 the last game. We need more than 4 buckets from the field.
Facts, KD. Step it up.
He went to the line. That's why his numbers look
that's why his numbers 27 points. I think he had 17 from the line or something like that.
Yeah. Sure.
All right, gentlemen. Well, that's all the time we got for today.
This is it, man.
Man, love the live session. Appreciate the NBA wrap up.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe us on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. 24th episode, so make sure you go check out the 824 section in the Kobe on sportjv.com. Over in the Kobe Corner. Appreciate you holding it back down, J Money.
Yeah, glad to be back, man. that it took a little hiatus, but had to take care of things. I'm back.
And big body boy, appreciate you holding down that starting center spot.
You already know, baby. Hey, for Mamba 24, Kobe.
Thank you guys for watching.